Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me. It is Sunday morning, and this is going to be a tarot reading for the collective. But I do want to take a few moments. Oh boy. And yes, everything's in retrograde, almost everything, including Mercury, which is my ruling planet. So do expect some tongue twisting. I want to take a moment because I just did a personal reading for a gentleman, a situation involving same sex. And, it's so interesting because this storyline that we're dealing with, hi, Pamela, it goes for everyone. It doesn't matter what type of relationship you're in on this journey. It's crazy, and people are like, I just want to know what to decide. I just want to know what to decide. So I have three different things to talk about here. And really importantly, I'm going to actually read you out something I found yesterday that I had written about 6 years ago at least. And it's a bit of a manifestation. It's come true. And so I want to tell you guys about specifics and how important that can be, though I wrote out exactly what I was meant to write out at that time. Okay. So back to the situation where everyone is involved in this connection, energy, whatever you want to call it. I am starting to call it twin flame again because it is a special connection. So the reading for the person I did, and I'm not giving any details at all, but it's the common theme. What should I do? What should my decision be? And the first thing is, if you feel that way, then right off the bat, it's a red flag on yourself. It's not about the other person, because you have to get in this spot where you don't let those things affect you. Nothing affect you. You don't have to be stone cold or anything like that. But the only way I can explain it is when you know your worth and you know, like, your truth. Those things don't upset you naturally. Instead, you'll look at the other person and feel for them and feel almost like hope that they get their stuff together, that they get themselves together, because it must be horrible, for them, like living like that in that way now that you see how happy you can be once you change your perspective on things. So this reconstruction energy is really about, and that's what I have written down. It's about reconstructing you. And it's really interesting because the person's reading I did, which I'm going to be sending it out if he's watching momentarily, like after this. But the reading I did, it showed this person carrying the burdens. So I'm like, okay, so what should he do? And it literally just went from the 10 of Wands to the King of Wands. And it's about gaining control. And it actually still showed the king looking at that situation, still having love, still having interest, still having curiosity about where this is going to go. But he dropped the 10 wands. He dropped the 9 wands, actually, right? So he dropped the stuff he was hanging on to that wasn't keeping him in his king energy. And that has to be applied to everyone. It's all about reconstructing yourself. And another message that was great is, like, you don't have to not chase. You don't have to chase. You don't have to do anything. But when the time comes and you feel it's the right time, it's time for you to express yourself in a way that can lead the other person to an optimistic outlook on the situation. So if they come forward to you one day and just say, I'm so unhappy, I hate the situation I'm in, that's the time when you get to open up and be really compassionate to them. And you can kind of plant some seeds and say, I feel you. I feel how you're feeling. I actually feel you. And that's not comfortable. That's not something I would want anyone I care about, including myself, to feel. So hi, fire over water. Hi, everyone. So that's the first topic about reconstruction, okay? Second topic, and sorry for everyone wants these cards. Yeah, we're going to pull them momentarily, but this is a good one. You guys, this is really good. So the second one, it comes down to the fly. As some of you remember, we dealt with the fly energy on this channel last year for a huge amount of time, right? where when we were doing karmic readings last year, I was doing them regularly, and I will go back to those karmic readings because you know what? Some people do like them, and I was a little like put off because I was getting really mixed match comments. But if you don't like them, don't watch them is all it's going to go to, because some people do want to know just to know what's going on over there. So this fly energy, the flies, not the flies, the fly has come back around occasionally for me. Not to the point where I normally would bring it up, but to the point where I notice it and then I remember last year and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember all that karmic energy that was always coming around and it's so disruptive. But more importantly, I remembered what I learned about the fly because I did a lot of research on the fly. And the energy of the fly, it's like you get focused on this buzzer and you're so focused. So today when I saw the fly, I was focused for a moment and I knew what I was doing was silly. I'm like, Jen, you're going to like destroy your kitchen. I grabbed the towel and I was swinging it and I didn't even care at that point. I'm like, I don't even care. I'm just, this is getting fun. Actually, this has become quite fun. And I even knew, I'm like, Jen, you're going to like destroy the kitchen. So next thing you know, my expensive salt, I have this expensive salt. I love salt. I caught it with my foot, you know, like, I'm like, oh my God, stop. Calm down. I let the fly go flying around. I actually did get the fly, but I knew that it would have been in my best interest to just let it go do what it has to do, wear itself out, maybe even find its own way out. I really went against everything I knew, but it brought up the fly energy again. And it probably happened so I can express this to you guys as well. Don't let things distract you. Don't let the fly get you the way it got me there. Don't let it take over your vision. Don't let it make you so focused on it that you are knocking your own stuff over. You're harming your own stuff, if that's a good word for it. Harming, destroying, you know. The fly energy will come in and out. And this happens during the reconstruction because my life is so good, guys. Like energetically, and I'm not bragging. It just is what it is. I just feel great about everything. And I'm hoping to spread this to you and to teach you. But during this reconstruction, the fly will come. You know, I've had a great month. I've had a great week. I had a great, you know, I actually have a dream to tell you guys about as well. So anyhow, the fly came in today and it's like, why are you coming? I'm good. But this will happen because it's a continuous battle, if you want to say, and that's what I just got there, battle. It's a continuous battle. It never stops. Okay. Okay. So I don't know if I should talk about the dream because I definitely don't want to finish the conversation off on that dream. Just remember, like, your thoughts from let's just say our thoughts from today will affect our tomorrow. Last night, there was a reader who posted a picture and I got a really bad vibe off of it. And I don't know if that's where this dream came from, but I'll tell you one thing I enjoyed about my dream. Quite often, I'm going to talk about this. When I had dreams as a child and I would have really scary dreams, I wouldn't be able to speak. I wouldn't be able to move. I wouldn't be able to do anything except stand there and take the horror, whatever the horror was, because it was all different things. So that always bothered me. Like at times when I couldn't, it's like, why can't I do the moves? And, you know, anyhow, last night in my dream last night, because I feel like I was actually there. I was walking through an alleyway in the daytime, and I do that often. In my city, we have the most beautiful alleyways full of art, and really beautiful, you know, spray paint and stuff like that. So that's a normal thing for me to do. So I'm walking down the alleyway, nice day. And this witch, it was a witch. I'm 1,000% sure. And like in my dream, I'm 1,000% sure because the picture I had looked at, that was the first vision I thought of. This reader posted this picture. I'm like, whoa, I'm like, that's a witch. And I didn't want to see, I almost was like, I don't know how to make sure I never see this person's post again. But anyhow, so the witch, I turned around and she was like, I knew right away she was coming, like she was right there and I knew she was going to do something. I saw it in her eyes and somehow I was able to like jump kick her. That alone made me so happy. Like I jump kicked her and she ran to go and get something she had hidden. And she probably would have got me. Like she was crazy. You know, when you see people like on drugs and stuff, they can do some fast runs and she probably would have got me. It didn't matter. I jump kicked her and I woke up. So I was really proud of myself. And I really did feel that it's something within me too, that I am becoming more powerful. I'm no longer afraid of, you know, not that I was or knew I was, but I'm not going to stand down ever. And I am going to fight till the end. And that's the energy of this. Remember the reading I did, it said, are you in it or are you not? Right? Okay, guys. So this is the big one. Last night, this story actually goes a little deep. I'm a little overwhelmed by it, actually. So it starts 2 nights ago. I had this book. I would bring it out right now, but there's no point. I left it on the couch over there. And it's this wooden book. It looks wooden. It's cardboard. And it actually looks like there's these geometrical webs, but they're just these geometrical shapes. But the way it goes, like in the pattern, it almost looks like a tiny, big web. So I'm sitting on my chair, doing my own thing yesterday. And I look over to my book, and my book has this inside of it, but I didn't know this was inside of it. It's shut, and it looks like a web, and all of a sudden, I see a huge spider staring me down. And I'm like, what the frig? And I had just put my coffee cup on the book, and it had about this much coffee in it, right? So I'm terrified of spiders, as you know. Anyhow, I managed to eventually say, Jen, you're not going to be terrified of this spider. I don't let spiders live. Sorry, guys, I don't. Those are the ones I don't, because I won't sleep. So I grab a shoe and I actually calmly went over to the book and I thought it out. I planned it out and I'm like, Jen, is it worth it? If you spill your coffee all over your couch, is it worth it? I'm like, yes, it's worth it. But I'm going to do my best to be as calm and to get this spider. So anyhow, I got the spider. It was freaking huge. It had a bubble thing on the bottom. Like it splattered. It was disgusting. I got it and I got it out of the house. Okay. I left the book there and I didn't touch that book because I grabbed my coffee off of it because I was still freaked out about the energy. So that book sat there until the next day. And why that book was there, actually, to be honest, I don't even remember why I brought it out. I think I was looking for tax stuff, right? Through books and papers, and I have 1,000 books, but I hadn't opened it. So it sat there. So last night, I like pulled this little part out of it because, you know, I didn't see it. It was covered by the book. So I pulled this out. And this is actually from about 6 years ago. There was a teacher. I wanted to take a course and I couldn't afford it at the time. This is how I used to be, guys. If I couldn't afford it, I would find a way. So I volunteered at this course to prepare the lunches, like to set it up at lunchtime. It was, I think, like, I don't know how many days, but it was an all-day event, maybe the weekend. I feel like it was actually for quite long, like a few weekends. It wasn't just 2 days. It was definitely more than that, maybe 2 months or something on the weekends. So I would do the lunches, and then during the class, I would get to sit in there and I would get the paperwork that everyone else got, and I got to listen to the course, but I didn't get to participate like everyone else. Like I didn't get the teacher's one-on-one help, but it didn't matter because I just wanted to learn everything. And he had written this book, and I remember there was a book, it must have had like 300 sheets or something. This is nothing. I don't know why this little section was in there because the rest of it isn't in there. But this is the interesting thing, guys. And this goes down to us manifesting, okay? And what you write and what you want and what you think and how it actually happens. And the reason I'm going to read you some of this is because I want you to see that I wasn't specific, and I want you to see this is exactly what happened, okay? So this talks about witnessing results in your life that are what you desire, and even what you don't understand, this little blurb here. And it's talking about building your imagination and building your image of yourself and what you truly want to be in your mind. It's really interesting because it's talking about what you want to be. For some reason, it says, so it says, begin your written statement with, I am so happy I now see myself with. Now being, 6 years later, I understand I wasn't supposed to write about a person. I was supposed to write about, like, I see myself, you know, with a career that I love. I see myself in an environment that I love and doing things that I love, driving my favorite car because I got what I wanted and da 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 da. So look what I wrote though. So I see myself with a person who is as loving as I am, who teaches me powerful life lessons. I am around a person who gives me a new way of looking at life. I'm living my dream. It goes on to talk about the condo, my dream condo, which I actually did end up living in at one point, not right now. Being healthy, happy, and energetic. It even says something like, I'm clean eating most of the time, more often than not. And that is actually exactly what I do. I do not clean eat all the time. I'm saying this because I'm surrounded with smart, grateful people, and I am. Look at my channel. I have the most beautiful people. I didn't even have or know about a channel at this time. I never even had that in my mind. I've released fears, and this was a tremendous help. So this is what I see myself. Like, you know, point being, guys, I did meet someone who is as loving as I am. And that sentence alone brought back this realization I've had. My person, my special person, is totally opposite than anyone I've ever had in my life. And I say that because my person is very connected with themselves and their feminine side. Very equal masculine, feminine, very masculine, but very compassionate and loving. And I looked at it when I really took a deeper look that I believe I was running from love. I believe the reason I dated a lot of the people I dated that didn't want to be affectionate in public, that, you know, they just had this ego to them. They were rude sometimes. Like, you know, sometimes that would be the red flag. Like, wow, that guy's rude. That's not my type of guy. Never mind that he's not loving in public. Like, you know, my person, everything about my person is totally opposite. It's what I was running from, is what I've come to the conclusion. Someone who's sensitive, someone who's strong, someone who isn't, you know, they're not just gonna, before, if I would have an argument with someone, you know, they just kind of like butter me up and just try to like calm me down. My person will say straight up, I'm not responsible for your happiness. And like, you know, and like, I don't understand, like, you know, but I'm not responsible for your happiness. I don't feel the way you're feeling right now. I don't feel that energy. The energy you're projecting on me is not what I like. This person taught me so much, and it's exactly what I asked for. And as I said before this, I do feel like what I wrote down was exactly what I was meant to write down at the time, but it shows the importance of being specific. So I left it very vague, no description, no nothing, right? And this was because this is what I did need. I did need someone to teach me powerful life lessons. I didn't need to just keep it vague like that. A person who shows me a new way of looking at life. That is the twin flame journey, guys. Hi, Sue. Hi, everyone. So that is what we are on here. And when I did that reading for that person, it just amazes me because, like, when I do same-sex readings, it doesn't matter. It's always the same story. Sometimes, to be honest, like if I'm doing same-sex female, there will be more queens, or same-sex male, there will be more kings sometimes, which is really cool. But it's about the energy. And when I did that reading, I was talking to my guides after, and I forget the exact statement I heard, but it was like, it's never about the sex. It's about the energy. Always. Okay. So let's see what cards come out. I mean, that was a lot of info there. I do want you to know, you know, the reconstruction process begins with you. So here we have Psyche, and Psyche is actually Cupid's girlfriend. I guess that's how I consider it. That's really cute. I don't know if she is in the book or not. This deck, the Tarot's, the Lover Path Tarot, if you can see that. Such a beautiful deck because there's stories, historical stories that go along with the major arcanas. So the Six of Cups, you know, you have your eye on this. You know what this is. Okay. It's very clear. It's almost like you're just, you're waiting for it to happen. But I almost actually feel like it's like your higher self or your gods or your guides are just waiting for the right time for this to come together. Whatever it is. The Princess Psyche, the female version of Cupid, has her eyes set on a reunion, eyes set on a return to love. That's a very powerful book, guys, if you want to read it. Three of Staves. And, you know, there's two people in this, and I love that, the Three of Wands. And this goes back to me saying that people have to start looking in a different direction or looking at things in a new way. Put down their guard. No matter how immature your person is being, you be the mature one. You be the example, and there's something like you be the lighthouse. You lead by example. I feel like for some of you, your person is a little bit immature because they just won't make a decision. And that's their path right now, you know, that's what they're meant to do. Maybe they're meant to live out some sort of a heartbreaking situation, 10 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. Maybe they're meant to just complete that cycle. And they're not making a decision just yet. I don't know. I'm picking up this energy where one person is really open here and really ready, and you're right there. And the other person is like so stalling. And what are they looking at? They're looking at a 10 of Cups. So it could be basically, plain and simple, they're looking at a love situation that's run its course, and there's almost a feeling of being unable to leave that island, because it's like these two people are trapped on an island, and to get across that, they have to go through a lot of turbulence, right? And it's hurting everyone involved in a sense, but it doesn't have to hurt you, okay? I just want to put that out there. 2 of Cups. The first message I get there is dried up. So I do feel, wow, this is a little bit of a deep message, guys. So what's going on here with your person is, and it's interesting because this type of energy came out in the reading I did. Your person may have been trying to fix something that was just dried up. And the truth is, your person really had no more love, but they were still trying to fix this. Very interesting. Yeah. Okay, well, let's see what's coming out here. We have the 6. I didn't get to ask my question. I wanted to focus over here a little bit. Another 6 here, right? So I'm starting to feel this energy that you are really truly the one that wants this love together. This Cupid's girlfriend type of energy here, the female energy. And I also feel that you've stepped away from this connection for now, just to release the buildup of frustration. But this is the thing, and this is exactly what came out in the reading. This person is still on your mind. You are still deeply connected. This isn't going anywhere. You can run around the world, but you're attached. There's a string. You want to deny it, you can try to deny it, but there is an attachment here that you cannot get away from. And that's why I say there's no point, like, unless you meet someone that sparks something in you or strums your string in a certain way type of thing, there's no point in ever saying, I'm done. There's no point in ever being like, we're done and breaking it off. Because why do that when you're going to sit there and think about them nonstop? There's nothing wrong with taking space and doing you, but you're very aware you are not letting this go. You have not let this go. You have not forgotten any single thing. In fact, what I just heard is that you love this person even more. So I guess that's that energy there. You love, the further apart you are, the more you love them. Is that real? Yeah, Queen of Swords, that's the truth. So let's see, let's pull from a different deck and get, hi Pamela, you finally let go, you love him and will hold space for us. Yeah, that's beautiful. I can't stay waiting and not living. And that's all it comes down to. It's not about waiting to go into jump into a next relationship, because we already know we're at a maturity level here, like YouTuber, like people on YouTube, you learn here on YouTube, right? And you can't go you can go searching for love, and you can go searching for a person, and you can get a person. But I think a lot of us on here, we don't want just any old ordinary love anymore. We can be alone and happy in love, right? And we can go and live our life and be happy with everything going on around us in our life. Let go of control issues. See, that one's for you, Pamela, for sure. Because you just basically said you let go, right? That's what we all just got to do. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. There's always going to be choices in life, right? There's always going to be choices in life. And that's something probably your person has to work on when it comes to love. These are two different hearts in this. When it comes to love, that's probably where they get a little bit confused, because it probably does come up as a red flag to them. Probably love is a whole red flag to your person. I almost feel like I'm having a little deja vu where I've spoken of issues, parental, and happy Father's Day, right? And, for a lot of the masculines, regardless if they're a father or not, it is that energy of divine masculine energy, this divine father spirit returning. This is the summer solstice as well. I don't know why I didn't even mention that. This is a very special energy. We are in Cancer energy in Gemini still. I think it switches. It might actually switch today or tomorrow. So happy birthday, Cancers, too, that are out there. But this is the father energy returning home to the mother energy. So that can be internally and externally. This could be the one. You already know it is the one, right? Gosh, there's been deception of some sort. But this is the thing. It's so weird what I'm getting from this, guys. And I don't think I often ever have said this. I don't think I've ever said that. Is that your person actually, you may have thought they were deceiving you or something, but they were protecting you from something in their mind. I don't know. Like, we can pull a card to clarify that a little better. But it looks as though they were actually protecting you from another person. 6 of Swords energy. I'm seeing the 4 of Wands here. It could be from, some sort of an unstable person. I don't know. Some of you may be dealing with someone who has an unstable person around them, who does a lot of research or a lot of thinking or always in their head. Maybe a lot of, who knows, like that sword energy can be sharp, right? And it can be erratic is a good word for that. So yeah, there's a feeling here, but I do feel that for many of you, you thought your person's deceiving you, and really in their mind, they're protecting you. Interesting, right? Keep an open mind. And I just feel like that's the message there. But this is also talking about the other sentences. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Well, I hope so. I hope your person is better. I hope your person is more beautiful and loving than any other, person you've had. Because often the people we've had is a reflection of our expectations. Like, when I really look at the past, one thing that almost every guy I was with before my person, my special love of my life, it's really interesting, but almost every single one of them was not affectionate in public. And it's nothing to do with like, oh, did they have a girlfriend, or, oh, like, were they married? No. They just were like, they had to look a certain way. They're always, they're into business or their own business, entrepreneurs. It just so happens to be what I get what my magnetic field gets. Okay. It just is what it is. But they all had this thing like, I got to look a certain way when we're out. I got to, be strong energy. And like, when I think about that, I didn't realize anything was wrong with that. And nothing is wrong with that. If they're not doing it for ego, okay, they're just not affectionate in public. Okay. Nothing is wrong with that. Everyone's different. But I am so loving and so affectionate when I care about someone. Like, I want to be all over them if we can. Obviously, there's times like work or family or friends or whatever where it's inappropriate. But if we're at a restaurant, I'll tell you, one of my first dates with my person, we went to a restaurant and I was like, I always want someone to do this and people don't ever want to do this. He came over to my side and sat beside me at the table. And I was just like in love. I'm like, oh my God, this person is just like more for me than I can ever explain, because that's exactly what I want to do. I don't want to sit across from you. I want to sit beside you and like touch you. So it's just interesting when I look at those things, like it's messed up when you just take a look at the people that you've loved. And the love yourself first card is a huge deal, guys. If you really are confused, like, and I heard it in a movie I watched last night, The Secret Garden. It's on Prime Video. And this girl said it. She was saying basically that she doesn't have much friends and people actually don't love her much or something like that. Like her parents weren't around. And the lady, the maid, said, well, how do you love do you love yourself? Like, how do you feel about yourself or something like that? And I'm like, yes, because that's the truth. If you want others to love you or to treat you like you are number one, you really got to treat yourself like you are number one. You really got to love yourself first. And it comes down to the simplest things, as in, for example, like sometimes I have face masks or something and I'm like, oh, I don't want to use them. I want to save them for a special day. And it's like, hell no, use it now, because you only know that you're here now. So treat yourself the best you can now. And, there was a really tragic situation in my city that happened the other day. Like, I'm getting shivers just thinking about it. I don't even know what to say, but a beautiful family, 3 children and a mother, a drunk driver. And like, God, people need to stop drinking and driving. It's friggin' ridiculous. Hit them. They've passed. They've left, a husband alone. Imagine, they just go out to do whatever they had to do that day. You don't know. So it's really important to truly love yourself so much, to truly enjoy every moment, regardless if your person is right beside you or not. Forgiveness and learning. I really feel that here's the codependency. Like, I'm just getting this messages for you, the viewers. Okay. This is not about your person, though there's a reflection 100% sure. And I'm sure that they're dealing with this stuff too. I almost feel like I'm focused on this separation, and there's things you need to separate yourself from. And it's almost like wipe the slate clean, forgive yourself, learn the lesson, and even tell yourself you don't need to learn any more lessons like that. You've learned them. So now it's time to put them into work. This codependent can be, a lot of people say it's, someone's like needs money, needs this, needs that. No, this right here is about you fixed on the fact that there's a separation. And it becomes like an internal dependency, almost like a drug. You want to get to that spot where love is like a drug, guys. And I'm not denial. Okay. I actually will admit I'm there. I've been there. It can get unhealthy. Okay, guys. So one more card here. I saw one flipped over. I'm not sure what that was. Oh, not 3, please. Well, let's see what we got here. Yeah, okay. Well, they were kind of in reverse, but I'm not going to take them in reverse. We have the flirt energy, which is just saying, stay lighthearted. You are lovable. You do deserve love. Here we have that Cupid energy again. Just focus your attention on something good for you. And if you need to disconnect from the world, that is absolutely okay. It really is, guys. And, don't rush this union. Don't rush it back in. There's been a lot that's been going on energetically, even with the planets. I heard someone speaking on that. I actually listen to her sometimes. Forget her name. Maybe it's Marlene. I'm not sure. And she was giving an example of a story, which is in here. And I was hoping to find it, but I couldn't find it. But I have read it before. And it's kind of a twin flame story. There's this god and goddess or whatever, this couple, they got married. But back in the days, they did things differently back in those days. That was a real long time ago. The goddess, like the woman, never saw the husband, and he would only visit her at night. And for those of you that know the story, please do post it. Post the name. I can't find it. I feel like it's Audie or Otis is one of their names. I don't know. But he would come and visit at night, and that was their love. But what happened, like that was their love situation. That just is how it was. And she could never see him because it was always nighttime and it was dark because he was wearing a bit of a mask. He was afraid of himself. He was afraid to express himself. And one day she's like, I had enough. I'm going to expose your face. So she went over there with a flashlight, and he vanished and disappeared. He's gone because like it was too much for him. And that is such a common energy here, right? With this twin flame journey. Anyhow, she had to go to his mom, and his mom was Venus, and she wasn't the nicest lady apparently, because she put her on this she had to go and do all these things, 3 special things, and she did do them. And I don't remember if they got back together, to be honest, so that kills it a little. But the point is that there's this continuous energy of not trusting that things will happen, and that, or that your person loves you even. Like you don't trust it sometimes. And you got to take control of that. That's all your mental energy, right? Queen of Cups. This person does love you because you are lovable. You are love. And if you know that, and you become proud of yourself and become even more in love with yourself, and give yourself that face mask you're saving for 2021 or something silly, take that time, especially now if you can. I think a lot of people, regardless, like the world has changed. I think that there is a lot more time people can find for themselves. And this is the time to do it. We're getting into this summer solstice. This is about ascension and this return energy, the Father Spirit return. And, even I was trying to figure out about my masculine, feminine balance. And what I realized is I always thought I was overly masculine. It's not that I'm overly masculine. It's that I'm underly feminine. So I just have to raise that part up. And I'm starting to really check my body and see where I hold grudges, is what I've discovered they are. They're grudges. And those are pain spots. And it's almost all on my masculine side, which is the right side of my body. It's really interesting. And I'm working those grudges out every day. Like I massage them. Yesterday, I was almost like beating myself a little, like, get out. But they will slowly and surely come out. And the thing is, for example, I held a grudge in my elbow, and I didn't know that. I just knew that every once in a while I had a little pain in my elbow, and I'm like, whatever. But since I was doing the yoga and they were telling us to explore the pain and massage it out, I started like massaging here, and oh my God, so much pain came out. Like the next day, like now it's more painful than ever. I never had this much pain that I have now. I can't even like bend it without hurting. But it's working its way out. And I actually have found that massaging your pain while oil pulling, it kind of works together. At least for me, if you don't know what oil pulling is, it's like I use coconut oil and I swish it through my teeth. It will honestly make your teeth extremely white. You don't need to add anything to it, but it actually grabs toxins. So when you're doing this painful massaging, I just feel like I put the intention that the toxins are going to come out of this pain and come into this oil, and I'm going to spit this oil out afterwards. You can leave this oil in your mouth, swishing it around for up to half an hour or longer. But that's what I've started doing. And it also gives me something to think about while I'm massaging all this pain. Another spot where I hold grudges from, like, I don't know if it's lifetimes ago, because I'm really looking into that, is my hips on my right side. So it's masculine stuff. And I've done some research internally. It's times when I've let masculines do what they want, and I didn't express that I didn't enjoy that, or I didn't like that, or I didn't want to do that. And that's just the message I got from exploring my hip issue. I'm still trying to figure this one out. And I think this one has to do with me overexerting myself. And this is all past stuff. And that's why now I'm able to actually sit there and analyze it. I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyhow, if you didn't get to check out this, my manifestation storyline, and I can't believe just how accurate it is right now. So it's taken at least 6 years, by the way, maybe 5, but yeah, it's an old one. So sometimes our manifestations don't happen right away. And you know what else this could have to do with? Like, every person I've met in those years has taught me powerful lessons and have given me new ways to look at in life. But now I'm finally here in this spot where I feel so appreciative for my person that I did meet them, and that I have come to this spot where I am at peace and where I do accept. I do accept. Okay. And I don't know if you guys love my little, I just touched it, so I want to grab one. I cut up so many tarot decks here. Justice. I feel like that's karmic justice when you just, and I'm seeing a cup of tea here. So that's the tea for you guys. But I cut up tarot decks that I wasn't using, and I think it's the most brilliant idea. I'm like, I don't use these decks, and let me cut out certain parts of them. So I'll cut out like the justice or the number or a part of the picture. And I have a whole bag of messages now. Check out my all signs video. I'll try to remember to include it. It's actually really cool, and I did timestamp it. I finally did it properly. And I laid out the cards ahead of time because someone was over here making some noise. And I was like, no, like, I got to focus, and I can focus on my own while someone's making noise, but I can't focus on the camera with you guys when someone's making noise. So yeah, check that out. It's there. I just posted it yesterday. It's called Summer Solstice, like what's coming in for you and your person. And it's a little bit helpful as well. And there's some dates for some of the signs. And oh my God, Taurus, I don't know what you're up to, because I had like a dark energy around me. I literally had to pause and clean it. I literally saw a ghost, and I felt it on my right side. So probably a man. Oh, you watched it, Victoria? Thank you so much. I'm glad you loved it. I'm going to do that definitely more regularly. I think that is more what suits me than individual videos, just because, I don't know, I really enjoyed that. I really felt comfortable, and I would like to actually start doing it live. And I'll be on tomorrow. I come on Mondays at 6 o'clock. Yay. Yeah, that's what's coming. But it's not, it doesn't come easy. It comes after. You have the Ace of Wands, but it comes through Tower moments. I feel like this, let's read this story just because we're here. And for those of you that are interested, I don't know if, and I opened it here, so this is interesting. And this is the Tower. So it comes through Tower moments. It comes through illusions that are usually created by yourself and triggered from your person. Look at the person right behind there. He's trying to help her. He's triggering her. That's Cupid, by the way. So, Dido and Antheus. Depression, difficulties, and release. This is what comes, after that. So Queen Dido of Carthage was walking upon the beach when she found Arnius and his soldiers. She was charmed by the handsome stranger and soon fell in love. Arnius loved Dido in return, but he was a man with a cause larger than the love he could bear for any woman. He claimed it was the gods' will that he journey to find a new Troy in Italy. I'm not sure what a Troy is, but a new Troy in Italy. Distraught, Dido built a funeral pyre. Sorry, these words, I don't know some of them. Pyre, P-Y-R-E, at the top of a tall tower and set fire to it. As Arnius or Aeneas, maybe his name is Aeneas, as his ship cast off into the sea, Dido climbed the tower and laid down upon the prey, whatever that is. So she killed herself. Oh, yeah. But you know what? That makes sense because you do have to die. Your old ways have to die. Whoa, for a second, I'm like, well, that sucks. But let's see what this says for the meaning. Feeling overwhelmed or oppressed by circumstances or emotions, confusion, inability to change our lives for the better, a pause before moving into a new phase of life. I'm happy I read that because I don't know if I mentioned, the Nine of Pentacles and then the Triumph energy here, the World. Your happiness leads to you being happy alone, leads to a completion of one cycle and a return, an awakening to another. And it's obviously connected because I already said you can't run from this. You can't run from this, King of Cups, and neither can he. Doesn't matter how much external flies we have trying to distract us. Goes back to the fly energy. Once you reconstruct yourself and you redo you, nothing can come in the way of your happiness except for more happiness. 8 of Wands, 9 of Cups, Romeo and Juliet. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope that sharing hope sharing this really helps someone, everything I shared here. Pry is the wood used for burning as a fuel. Oh, so she laid right on that she let it all go. She burned her old self right down. And I love it because of course the divine feminine has to do it on the top of a big mountain and set the the masculine away. Bye, my love, I'm going to. But that change really helps, right? That change and that release really brings that connection back. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. I'm going to be sending out more videos today. I really appreciate the person whose video I did this morning because it really got this message out there. And it doesn't matter same sex or not. This is all the same story. It's energy. And my guides, they were guided to remind me it's none of the cards are about sex. It's always energy. That is the message I got today. So not about sexual orientation. It's always energy, regardless. Like that's really what it breaks down to. That's what everything really breaks down to. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Bye for now.